This episode of Unfinished Business is presented by Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. It's free.
There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer.
Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more.
You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership.
And it is everything you need to make a podcast in one place.
Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
What it do, Unfinished Business crew?
Wow.
Yeah, we're big time now. Welcome to another Saturday episode of what isn't a weekly recap of the Unfinished Biz podcast show, because had too big of a guest not to have him on Saturday, and have to let him wait for Twisted Tuesday because it was just too big of a celeb player to have on. And Malcolm, you probably know more about it than I do.
Yeah, because Jay wasn't able to come on because he's complaining, crying, about some stuff going on in his house, like construction. He's like, "Oh, I can't be on; it's too loud." So he wasn't able
Only
to
the
come
best
on.
quality for the viewers. Only the best.
He wasn't
quality.
able to come on today, but we
Only
had
the
a
best
special
quality.
guest, Michael OTOO. He just graduated actually from St. Thomas University. And he's a basketball player, and he had an accident where he was a pedestrian hit by a car, and there's not much facts or whatever about it, but that's what happened, and he suffered some brain trauma in the accident, and then he's been working his way since then. I think this was around, I'd say 2 or 3 years ago, if I'm correct, 2 or 3 years ago, and he's been working his way up, trying to improve and get back to where he was, and if not better. Even in the interview, he was saying, "I'm still not at where I want to be yet." And if you looked at his stats, we talked about it in the interview, just me and him, because Jay wasn't there. We just talked about where he wants to be and how he's going to continue to get there. And there's a lot. It's a very good interview, honestly, and he's a really good guy, honestly, very genuine person, inspirational. I said that a lot. I caught myself saying inspirational a lot during this interview, but it really is inspirational to see what he's doing right now.
Yeah, it's full disclaimer. If I was be able to do this interview today, it would have been every 3 or 4 seconds. It's like it's a disaster zone right now in the household.
Oh, the house, yeah.
Disaster zone. We have those dumpster bins that you fill up with shit.
Yeah.
It's completely full of
really?
Tile, cabinets, drywall.
Something else I wanted to bring up. So today, my dad, I told him I had to bring him up on the podcast. I had to tell him because this is just embarrassing for him. But today, my dad, he's like, I'm like, oh, he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, about to do the intro and outro with Jay for the podcast, whatnot. I don't know when it's gonna happen. Just chilling. He's like, oh, you want to put in a quick game of Madden? I'm like,
your dad said that?
Yeah, we played some Madden stuff. I'm like, okay, why not? I let him choose his team. He chooses New Orleans, right? Whatever.
His team was the Seahawks.
It is, but he chose New Orleans because they're the highest rated team. I chose the almighty Arizona Cardinals. We played a 6-minute quarters. Do you want to take a stab at what the score was in this game?
70-14.
That's close. It was a blowout. It was 61-10. And also, I pulled off of Todd Gurley in one of my picks. I had 3 pick sixes. Could have had a 4th, but I pulled up with Todd Gurley and slid at the 5-yard line to just be a little bit cheeky.
Just to ride the time off.
There's a video of it, me trying to get the score for confirmation. He's trying to hide the score. He's like, no, don't show the score. Because he was embarrassed. I'm like, I need it. Jay might not believe me. But yeah, that was pretty funny. I told him I'd mention it, so it's for you, Dad. Nice game, good game. Maybe next time. Probably never.
Probably never. Yeah, probably never. Yeah, spent the day today. Basically, every Saturday we have this golf outing. Me, my dad, my best friend, and my cousin.
Oh, your best friend.
Shut up. Yeah, you can go cry in the back. We usually play a Saturday afternoon thing, around around Hamilton, Toronto area. We're 3-1 right now in the series. My dad and my cousin against me and my best friend.
Oh, wow.
Played at Blue Springs today. I don't know if anyone really knows Blue Springs. It's probably the better courses in Ontario. It actually is the second to last course in your qualifier to make the Canadian Open. The last one being Heron Point, which we're playing on Saturday, next Saturday. So looking forward to that. But honestly, I'm kind of disappointed that everything is closed, like to qualify for everything. Because the way I'm playing right now, I wish I was be able to qualify for the Canadian
So,
Amateur.
so as I'm not a huge fan of golf, right?
Because you're a bitch.
Yeah, whatever. And I'm going as he drinks his claw. And so I'm going to go golfing tomorrow for the first time in I don't know how many years. I want to make a bet, not a bet, but I want to make a bet. But I think I can shoot better than you on my course tomorrow. I'm playing at the Marshes. It's like the second best course in Canada, other than Canada Lakes, obviously. But so what did you shoot today? You shot a what?
Today shot 84. Wasn't one of my prouder. Actually, that's actually my worst round of the year. Actually,
I don't
it
even
was
know
my
what my
worst round of the
handicap
year.
is, honestly.
It was my worst round. Like
That was your worst round.
Yeah, I've consistently shot in the 70s the whole year, and I was like, damn, like COVID-19 is really the year that I have the best golf year, and I will be able to prove it. It blows because like I miss playing in tournaments, like
Yeah.
not like competitively, but charity-wise, it's just a good time. Like you go with your buddies or your family, and you go out and shoot some rounds, kick some old guy's ass, and then then you see me like 140 pounds soaking wet, piping the ball down 260, 280, 300 yards, and win a long drive time. It's a great time, and you get your dinner after, and your round's like 5 hours, which is a drag, but yeah, it's just a good time. There really isn't much of that this year, and it's really like it's unsanctioned. These league events, like what we do now on Saturday afternoons, is just unsanctioned, just for fun. So that's what you have to do right now in times like this, and it's awesome. It's awesome.
That must be amazing. But
It's like your tennis, man. It's like your tennis.
Oh yeah. By the way, this is huge news. I'm happy you brought this up. So I'm in the ladder, and I had a match yesterday. Going into this match, I was 3-0, right? 3-0, whatever, no big deal. I'm playing this guy.
Not a big deal.
Not a big deal. I'm playing this guy that I haven't beaten in 5 years. 5 years. 5 years I haven't beaten this guy.
And this is the guy coming that made OFSA tennis.
This is the one guy I've lost to consecutively over 5 years. I played him yesterday. I was so we played an 8-game pro set. You know what that is? Like,
yes.
Yeah, so we played.
Like it's usually 6, no?
It's usually 6, but like because of the ladder, like there's a lot of bookings and stuff, so you got to condense it to an 8-game pro set. So we played an 8-game pro set. I'm up 7-4 in the game. Realistically, I should win the game 8-4, right?
15 love.
No,
15
I don't win 7-4. I choked. I lost 3 games in a row. We went to a tiebreaker. The tiebreaker is first to 7 points. We went back and forth, and I finally won at 16-14 in the tiebreaker.
So
finally won against my arch rival, but
can I make a guess estimate?
What?
You didn't talk smack at all after you won, right?
Oh, why? No. I'm telling you, this guy's like my arch rival, but at the same time.
So you talked that was sarcastic. No. You spoke some serious smack?
No, he's like a nice guy.
Again, this is the fake Malcolm on the podcast. Because if it was playing me, I would hear about it.
Oh, if I was playing you, sure. But this guy's a nice guy. I've played him for 5 years. I can't say, I can't talk smack like when he's beaten me for the past 5 years. It's the first time I beat him. I can't really talk much smack.
But before we boost Malcolm's ego a little too much, I think it's a good time to go to the interview.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so too, just to keep you grounded. So without further ado, it's Michael OTOO with Unfinished Business.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Unfinished Business. Today we have a special guest, Michael OTOO. Just before we get started and everything, I just want to ask you right off the bat, just a little bit about yourself, who you are, so the viewers get to know who you are, and then we'll get into some of the questions.
Hi, so I'm Michael OTOO. I'm from Ottawa, Canada, and I play university basketball for St. Thomas University. I actually just finished my last year in a way. I'm still trying to get another year back, but besides that, like I'm looking to talk and speak on my story and my kind of road to where I got to. So yeah.
Yeah, and thanks for coming on. Like, it's really appreciated you're coming on for this. So thank you for that. So to start off, like, what is your story? So, what is I don't know how to ask this. Like, what is your story? Like, more like, how did you get into playing basketball, and what really got you to where you are today at St. Thomas University?
Yeah, so I actually like being in Ottawa. There's a lot of good like basketball players in Ottawa. Like I feel like it's a great brand. Like there's a lot of good players. Like one of my best friends, Noah Kirkwood. He played at Team Canada,
Oh, wow.
U19. He won gold medal at the Worlds when they beat USA, and I think they beat Italy in the final. I don't remember, but yeah, he's a gold medalist. One of the best players to come out of Ottawa. Mariel Shyok, he got drafted. Like there's a lot of good players that are from Ottawa and are playing at the high level. And Carleton Ravens, U Ottawa, really good programs. So like growing up, like I always wanted to play for Carleton or U Ottawa or try to make it there. But
Yeah.
obviously, like I feel like my road to like getting to where I wanted to get to was obviously pretty tough. But in high school, I felt like I didn't really take the game as serious until like grade 11. I actually met a coach. His name's Coach John Johnson, and he actually it was grade 10. Coach John Johnson, I played Golden Hornets with him, and he kind of like got me into basketball and like was really like because I was always good, but I wasn't like the next level good. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I got to see players who were the next level and how they took and approached basketball. So like after I spoke with him and like was coached by him, I started to realize like, man, like I want to be just as good as these guys, right? I want to be like his son, Corey Johnson, he was playing for Team Canada as well, Team Ontario, one of the best players in Ottawa. And like for me to see and like play against him and play with him made me realize like I want to get to the next level. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So I saw your Instagram page, and the most recent thing you had was your highlight tape, and about a
Oh yeah.
recovery.
So
Yeah.
sorry to cut you off, but like yeah, that was my high school. So
Okay.
out of my last year in high school, I had a couple of offers in Ontario, but it wasn't like I really wanted to go to U of T growing up, and I felt like the last month I could possibly go there. They found another point guard because I was a point guard in high school. So then I wasn't really like I didn't really have an opportunity to go out to play there. I could have redshirted at like Dow or like but my thing was I didn't want to redshirt my first year. I wanted to play as obviously. So I was
Yeah.
recruited by a couple ACA schools out east, so Mount Allison and Mount St. Vincent, and were my final two choices. And um, I kind of like it was a tough decision. Like I loved Mount St. Vincent, the coach Ian McCray there, awesome. But my parents were really big on academics, and Mount A was the #1 undergrad school coming out. So I decided to go to Mount A, and I went there for my first 2 years in university.
Yeah.
And I suffered a crazy accident. So yeah, not crazy. I'm not gonna say crazy, but like an unfortunate accident. So
Yeah.
and that happened to me, and like it was involved in a motor vehicle pedestrian accident, and that was pretty tough. But yeah.
Yeah. So like after that accident, what did like doctors tell you, and what was like your recovery process to get to where you are now and to get back to your like peak potential?
Yeah, so I was actually like involved obviously in a motor vehicle pedestrian accident, and I was in coma for 5 days, I think it was. And not I think, I know it was, my bad. And it was like obviously super tough. I was told by doctors that I wouldn't play again. It'd be hard for me to graduate school because a lot of people who suffer a severe brain injury don't ever get to make it back, right? So it was like obviously very hard for me. Like I was looking for a lot of motivation. And that year at Mount A was hosting the playoffs. So I was like very excited to like be able to play in the playoffs. So for me to have that taken away from me was pretty tough.
Yeah.
And like obviously very unfortunate. And like I don't know, it was obviously very down on myself. I was really sad, and like it was just hard to find any type of inspiration and motivation as like during that time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So like during your whole recovery process, who were like your biggest supporters, or the people who helped you most to get to where you are?
Okay,
And
so well, sorry to cut you off, my
no,
bad.
no, no, that was still my question. Yes.
So my first year, so I actually went to a rehabilitation group called the Track Group, and I had a physiotherapist, a speech therapist, occupational therapist, a chiropractor,
Wow.
a psychiatrist. So I had like a lot of people helping me. So also like not even just that helping me, they were all great and like giving me positive energy, give me positive words, like don't worry, we're gonna try to help you get back to where you want to get to and stuff. And like it was really tough obviously, but like going from day to day getting help constantly, like so to go into detail, like a speech pathologist. Her name was Angela. She was amazing. She like they help you with your like your cognition, your attention, your memory, stuff like that. Because obviously that's been affected, still affects me today, right?
Yeah.
I still use some of the help I would have had then now, and like so speech pathology was for school, and then occupational therapy was more for like your day-to-day living, like brushing your teeth, waking up in the morning, getting your day scheduled, stuff like that. Her name was Megan. Just shouting them out because they're kind of cool and they were awesome. And yeah, she was amazing, and like she really helped me as well. My physiotherapist, his name was Michael Alond. He actually played college basketball, so it was pretty cool for him to like, he knew how much as a basketball player everybody loves the game, right? So he kind of knew, and he kind of put in my head right away that like for you to want to get to where you want to get to, you got to think of it and be confident, right? So I had that, and I had a chiropractor who helped me. His name was Dr. Ellard. He helped me, and then I had a psychiatrist who really helped me too. So like I had a bunch of help, and it might sound like I'm not trying to sound like I'm a superhero or something, because I'm not. I just got a lot of help, and I really like, I'm really blessed, and I'm really thankful. I'm from a religious family, so like God kind of blessed me, you know? So yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice to have that many people just around you trying to get you back to where you want to be.
So after my bad, but like after my full year of rehabilitation, I wasn't allowed to be in the game. I could just like kind of do skills, and it's actually crazy. But my first coach, I just mentioned him earlier, Coach John Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
He told me right after my accident had happened at my house, saying, "Hey, look, we're gonna try to get you back and make a story out of this and try to help you." And I was like, "Really?" Like, he's like, "Yeah, like it might sound crazy. You might not be able to play right now, but we're gonna try to get you to where you want to get to." So I actually started playing with him all the time, like just doing little drills, like dribbling, shooting, and like he just ran me through the game, like skills, and like it's crazy how day by day I just gradually got better, and he helped me with it. And then with his help, he actually got me with a strength coach who helped me with, like, develop my body. His name was Coach Donnie Ruiz, and those two, like, really, like, if I could say I owe some people the world, like, those two really, like, I owe them the world. Like, they got me to where I want to get to, right? And every day I'm thankful for what they did for me, because they didn't have to do it, right? Like, Coach John would wake up at 7 a.m. in the morning, come to like the Richcraft, the community center, and train me for like an hour, right? Like, he didn't have to do that. Or my coach, like, I remember the first day I went with Coach Donnie, like, I was like, "Hey, do you think I'm gonna get back?" And he was like, tells me the story all the time. He was like, he saw the stretches or like the way I was moving after my accident. He looked at me and was like, "Yeah, you're gonna get back." But he told me, he was like, "There's no way this kid's gonna get back, right? Like, there's no way. Like, he's gonna be able to, like, I could barely shuffle down and back. How am I supposed to cover a sick point guard, right?" So it's like, but they helped me so much. They developed plans for me. It was crazy. Like, it's surreal to see what all had happened. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. So now a bit more about like what you're doing now and some of your basketball like knowledge and everything. One of the questions I want to ask. So you're at St. Thomas now, right?
Yeah. So I didn't even get into that. Like, after my accident, I actually went back to Mount A, and I was just having not a rough year, but like I was very down on myself mentally, because with a brain injury, it's really tough to live positive, because it's like there's centers in your brain that make you want to live negative all the time. So like, I was going through a rough time. I did have some great friends there, good teammates, but like I felt like I wanted a fresh start and just like new people. So St. Thomas was talking to me, and I was like, "Okay, I think I'm gonna try to go to St. Thomas." Coach Scott, I ended up going there, and the rest was history. And I actually played. I worked that much harder, because obviously when I transferred, I wanted to make an impact, right? So I worked with Coach John and Coach Donnie, and my best friend Noah. Like, this kid, like, probably, like, I personally think he's gonna go to the NBA one day. Like, I got to train with him every day, right? So it's like, if I'm training with this guy every day, how can I not be great? You know what I mean? So like, that's the way I saw it. Like, I took a lot of advice from him. I took a lot of advice from my coaches, and like, I decided to like get with it and like go to St. Thomas. And I actually got super lucky. But one of my other best friends, Elman Divers, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce his name because I always mess it up. Elman Diversivic, I think, and he's one of my best friends. But he actually came with me to St. Thomas. So it was like, imagine having your brother come with you to like a new school, new surrounding, new game, and he gave me so much confidence because we play high school together. And like, so when I was playing college, I would see him kill, and it's like, yo, how can I watch my boy kill and me not kill, right?
Yeah.
So I started to get inspiration from him, and then I started to kill because I was alongside him. You know what I mean? So I owe him the world as well. So yeah.
Yeah, it's just like even taking a look at your stats here, like at St. Thomas, you're shooting like 43% from field, 42 from the 3-point, 85 from the line. Like you're doing really good. So averaging
so
like 11 points a game.
Sorry to cut you off again, but like my junior year, like last year, I was CCR online, made an all-star list, and it was actually crazy. I messaged them and I told them, but like they don't really know. But I was like, they put me on their all-star list. And I was like, oh my God, like for me, it's like from a brain injury to be on an all-star list, it was crazy. So I was like, oh my God. And I just remember celebrating with my family, my brother, my cousin Chris, like we were just going crazy. And then, last year was a 50, 40, 90 player, which was insane. I don't know how I did it. It was just, I was hitting every shot. My buddy Elman would hit me, my teammate Jeff, my teammate Ace, they would hit me open. I was hitting all these shots and like, it was crazy. I was pretty much 50, 40, 90 player. And yeah, like it was insane. So last year I actually played really well, but this year I thought I had a good season this year. I got a couple of awards this year too as well, but I feel like I could have done a bit better given the situation. Like I felt like obviously every player wants to play more, so I feel like I should have been playing more this year, but it is what it is, it's in the past.
Yeah. And being at St. Thomas, how's like the atmosphere there? Like what's it like to play at St. Thomas's, the crowd? Like even I go to Brock University, so we have a basketball team there, but even their home gym isn't that big, so we don't get a huge turnout. What's it like at St. Thomas?
So actually, St. Thomas is a very small school, very small school. So it's like, obviously I'm from Ottawa, so I know how it is to be at Carleton or U Ottawa. It's huge.
Yeah.
St. Thomas is very small, so it's very like community oriented. So like you kind of know everyone. So whenever there's a game, you know a lot of people. Like for me, I know a lot of my friends. I just tell them, yo, come to the game. So they come there. We actually have a kind of like, it's called the pit, but like we got a lot of like, it's kind of smaller. So whenever it's like kind of packed, you can hear a lot of people chanting and yelling. So it's pretty kind of cool. The atmosphere there at the pit is pretty awesome. And like I feel like St. Thomas was a good experience at times. Like it was great. Like I met a lot of great people, and the profs are amazing. Anytime you needed help, like because of my brain injury, I'm in the accessibility office. So like, they help me work a lot, right? And they were just great to me, like amazing to me. It was insane. But yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, that's really cool. Like just to have like an atmosphere, just like that pit, like that crowd section, fans section, just probably must be so
I actually
fun
remember
to play with.
We had a game last year against Mount A.
Yeah.
My former school, which is pretty crazy. And we ended up losing the game on the game winner it's weird, but like some of the players on Mount A are my friends, right?
Yeah.
So one of my good buddies, Brett Curtis, he hits a game-winning shot at the end of the game to win the game. Pretty impressive. Shout out to Brett. Anyways, that game was insane. Like the crowd was crazy. And like for an ACAA game, I never thought I'd play in a crowd like that. I think there were 7 technicals in the game.
Jeez.
Like, it was crazy. I remember hitting big shots and like looking at their bench, but like not even like being cocky, just like being like confident and like just being in a great atmosphere. Like if there's a game you think of, if you think of a game you want to play in growing up, that game was one of them. And then they beat us in the playoffs this year actually, but I just remember that Friday night game, losing in a game-winning shot and it going into overtime. It was just pretty crazy. Probably the best game I ever played in when I was here. So yeah.
Yeah, it must be exciting to play in a game like that.
Mm-hmm.
I have another question. It's like, who do you try to model your game after if you were to, an NBA player or a professional player or athlete? And who are some like basketball players or just athletes that you look up to and look at them and like they're inspirational for you?
Yeah. So for that, my favorite player is LeBron James. So like, I'm a huge LeBron guy. Everybody knows that. But like, I don't try to model my game after LeBron. I'm 5'9". Like I'm small. LeBron's 6'9". But like, the one thing I take from LeBron is he's always like calm in the community. Like he's always trying to help people. So that's the one thing I try to take from LeBron, helping people. But from actual like basketball games, I love Kyle Lowry, like his energy on defense. I love taking charges. It's my favorite thing. Probably a bunch of them are like flops. People would say they're flops.
Yeah.
But like kind of like ride my guy, and if I feel they're off arm, I'm falling. And I actually been getting a lot of calls, so I like to draw a lot of charges, obviously. And then So I love Kyle Lowry's charges, his shot making. Like, I'm a really good shooter, so I love spawning up and hitting those threes. And, like, I love Kyle Lowry. I love Fred VanVleet. I'm not a Raptors
Fred.
guy. I don't like the Raptors that much,
You know,
but I love those two. And then I like Kemba Walker, for example. Like, all the
yeah.
quick guards and, like, who can make shots and play defense. I kind of like them. And, like, yeah, I kind of watched a lot of, like, this year for St. Thomas, I was more of a two-guard. So I watched Seth Curry when he used to play for Duke. I watched film on him. I watched film on Klay Thompson. Like, trying to see what they do to get open, to hit big shots, stuff like that. Yeah.
You're not a Raps guy, but who is your favorite team then?
Oh, okay. My favorite team is LeBron James. Whatever
Just
team
whoever he's on.
Yeah, whoever he's on, that's my favorite team. So right now, I actually got the LeBron in the back.
Yeah.
LeBron's my favorite player, so the Lakers are my favorite team. The Lakers are going to win the COVID championship, so yes.
That's what I think too. I don't see them not winning with Anthony Davis and LeBron and
Anthony
everyone.
Davis, I know the Clippers are going to be pretty tough, but, like,
Yeah.
hoping the Lakers can win. And also, I think you asked me who my biggest supporters were.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just feel like I got to get that because they helped me so much. But obviously, like, my family, my parents are amazing parents. Like, they migrated here from Ghana, and, like, they just, like, created the best surroundings for me and my siblings. And then obviously my brother and my sister. And then, like, I'm going to obviously shout out, like my brother and my sister are amazing. Like, we've grown closer ever since my accident had happened, and I'm really thankful for them. And then I'm going to say, obviously, my rehab team. They always always gave me confidence to do whatever I can. And then, like, I'm going to say, I have a lot of people to shout out because if I'm going to say that, supporters. Yeah. But I'm going to shout out, obviously, Coach John, Coach Donnie, Noah Kirkwood, amazing. Like, that guy's mine. Like, for me to think, like, I'm not trying to say he's going to the NBA or anything because that will put pressure on him. But I think he can. Like, the way he looks at things and the way he is as a player, he can literally do everything. I don't see any weakness in his game. Like, I feel like he can get there. So taking advice from him really helped and gave me confidence. And then, like, I'm going to, like, I have a New Brunswick family here who takes care of me. So Wendy, my friend Brad, who was my teammate at Mount A as well, they helped me a lot. Damn, there's actually a lot of people. But, they helped me a lot. My cousin Chris, who's pretty much like my second brother, he was amazing to me. Anytime I needed to call him, anytime I was frustrated this season, I would just call him up. I'd hit him up, and he would talk to me, calm me down. And, like, obviously, my teammates, obviously, I can't go down the whole list of teammates, but my teammates are all great. Like, I met my teammate Arthur, who's actually going to play at Langara next year. Hopefully, if there's a season. Like, he's an awesome point guard, awesome player to play with. And then this year, like, I love my buddy Damon. Obviously, my favorite teammate of all time is Elman, obviously, because that has to be my favorite teammate all time. We've been together through thick and thin. But, like, my teammate Jeff this year, like, I just had a bunch of good people around me. I feel like when a lot of people are around me and, like, they make me feel better, like, it's great. Like, even, like, guys, I'm not even trying to hate on anyone, but, like, my friend, like, my rookie Zach, like, I'm a senior, he's a rookie. Doesn't play much, but, like, the kid was, like, one of my best friends on my team this year. Always helped me a lot, too. Zach Couture. So, like, a lot of things, like, I got a lot of help. Like, I'm lucky to be where I am today because of that. So I'm not going to ever say I'm a Superman or superhero.
Yeah.
Because, like, I'm just very blessed to have a support system that could have helped me through rough times. Like, there were times where I could barely wake up in the morning. Or there were times where I was like, man, like, I remember my first ever actual scrimmage. I think, like, or the first day I played with Coach John, he could probably listen, but, like, I could barely dribble. I could barely shoot. And I remember just, like, he would be like, okay, do a between the legs pull-up jump shot. And I was like, bro. I like super suspect. Like, so I couldn't do it. So as time went on, it's just crazy. Like, people don't understand, but, like, I got a lot of, like little awards, obviously. Like, I got Defensive Player of the Year this year for St. Thomas. And I was got an award last year. And then I got CCAA Athlete of the Week, which for me was my favorite accomplishment I ever got because it was, like, I was a part of the nation's best players. Yeah. And, like, none of those guys obviously had a brain injury, right? Or none of those guys had to go through what I had to go through, right? So for me, that was pretty surreal for me to have that and like, know that, like, a couple of years ago, like, I was, like, very, like, sad and, like, depressed every day to, like, now, like, being able to play at a high level. It's just crazy feeling, like, just crazy feeling.
Yeah, so you're playing at a high level now. What's your next step? Like, what are your career goals and what do you want to accomplish with the game of basketball?
Okay, so career goals, it's kind of like I'm still trying to play. Like, I'm not gonna I'm still trying to play. And I'm there's some things in the works. I can't say anything that's, like, definitive, like, because, like, you know, like, but there are
Yeah.
things in the works that I am working on, and I just want to obviously work with Coach Donnie and like get myself to be the best player I can be, obviously. And yeah, like I'm just trying to keep basketball in my life. I also want to do my master's. Hopefully, I just graduated a couple days ago, so that's pretty cool. And,
Congrats.
yeah, so thanks, appreciate it. But I'm trying to like still keep my life going and like keep pushing because I know how it was like with my accident. I know how it was when I didn't have the game of basketball in my life, and like people, I feel like the one thing I want to get across today like is like don't take basketball for granted. Like literally, like your life could change at any moment for anybody. Like look at what's going on in the world right now. Like
Yeah.
guys are like, no one really knows what's gonna happen next year, right? Like COVID just happened out of nowhere, right? So it's
Yeah.
like your life can literally change at any moment. You gotta go hard every day and make yourself feel good every day. Try to push yourself. Try to be the best you can be. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, even with everything going on today,
Yeah.
like these players who maybe weren't like wise with their money, like going out and now they're stuck and they have no means of income because
Yeah.
they can't play or anything. So
Yeah.
you got to play hard every day. I
Yeah.
totally agree.
Yeah.
One question that Jay couldn't be here today, but he wanted to ask, what did you think us being Canadian and the Raptors being the only Canadian basketball team? What did you think of that championship run last year
So
for the
okay,
Raptors?
again, like I'm not a Raptors hater, but
Yeah.
like I didn't like. I'm not gonna say like I'm a huge Raptors fan, but it was awesome to see a lot of like the people around each other like coming together for the love of the game. Obviously, I love basketball, and like me being a LeBron guy, I love seeing LeBron kill the Raptors the last like few years.
Yeah.
But then one year he's not there to see them win the championship. It was pretty awesome, right? Like it was cool to see, and the Kawhi Leonard's run was insane. And
Crazy.
like so just like it was awesome to see that the Raptors were able to like win a championship. I still can't believe last year the Raptors won the championship.
Yeah.
I still can't believe it, right? So they're still amazing this year too, but no one's talking about them.
Yeah, no one's talking. I'm not even a Raptors fan. I'm a Celtics fan. But even
Yeah.
today, I know like they have probably the same record at one point. They had the same record they did last year, and no one's talking about them. There's
Nobody's
sleepers.
I think it's like an ESPN or international type of. Did no one likes to talk about the Raptors? But they're literally killing right now, and they're champions. Like that's like people don't understand. Like winning a championship changes you as a player. So they're all champions. Like I'm not saying they're going to the finals because like I'm never gonna say that. Like again, I'm not a Raptors guy, but like they're really good, and I feel like people are sleeping on them.
Yeah, I think so too. I really appreciate you coming on today. It's been good talk. We just wanted to make sure you got like your story out there to share what you wanted to say.
Yeah.
We're gonna put your link and your highlight tape and your Instagram in our description on YouTube and Anchor and Spotify, so everyone can go click it and watch and go support it. Go support you because
like sorry to cut you off again. I made that like when my buddy Idahosa York.
Yeah.
So what it was Idahosa works for the Motivated and works for CBC as well. He when I was at Mount A, he wanted to do something for me, but obviously that year I didn't play at all, and like it was rough.
Yeah.
So he always told me that one day, don't worry, it's gonna come and we'll be able to make a tape. And he finally this year with my highlights and the way I played, like he was able to make a pretty awesome tape. And the reason for that tape is when my accident happened, I was looking for anything for inspiration, like anything that would, and I couldn't find anything. It was very hard to see someone with a brain injury make it back. But then I feel like, I'm not saying, again, I'm not a superhero, but I made it back. So anybody with a brain injury can watch that video and really can help them, right? So that was the main reason for that video. So if people could click that and watch it, it'd be awesome.
Yeah, totally, because that's very inspirational. Like to get where you are today, a lot of people could be in the same position or a different position, maybe with a different sport, and be like, oh, I have to give up. Like there's no way I'm getting back to where I am. But they see you and see other people who have been in a similar situation to get where you are. So I think it's very inspirational.
Yeah,
so.
like thanks a lot. And like also like I'm not even like today I'm not 100%. Like I'm not. Like, I still feel effects of the accident, obviously. But like the one thing that has kept me and helped me whenever I'm feeling down on myself and stuff is the game of basketball, right? So man, like it's crazy how much a sport can take you places or like help you with your life. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah, sports, like I think they bring a lot of people together, and just having a group of supporters, like you said, like you mentioned, was probably a big help. Like a lot of people feel like they have to do it on their own, but you're always going to have like your family, your friends around you to support you. So that's very nice to see as well. Yeah. So thank you for coming on today. It's been a pleasure. And
I actually appreciate it. You're actually like, I was asked by a couple of people to do a podcast,
Yeah.
And you're the first person I've done it for, so thanks a lot.
Thanks for
Appreciate
that. Yeah.
I like being able to share my story because I know it can help a lot of people. So, yeah. So thanks a lot. I appreciate it, man, for real.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. Thank you,
Thanks.
man. Appreciate it.
Huge thanks again to Michael OTOO for coming on the podcast. I know we had a lot of offers to go to different podcasts, and he chose ours, so we're very, very grateful for him to share his thoughts and his feelings and his basketball IQ to everybody. And big ups to Malcolm for taking the solo up on the pod. I know it's very good. Not the hardest, not the easiest thing in the world to be doing. So
I
appreciate
was
that
kind
again.
of trembling, not gonna lie.
You were very. I wasn't surprised.
I was like,
Oh my God. Are you
What-
sure you
what-
can't? Are you sure?
what do I say? Well, I just because I'm like, oh, did Jay add any real questions? Like, if you
Are
want
you
to ask
kidding?
them? But the one the one I said in the interview, like, even if you watch it, is Jay had this question about the Raps championship run, and that's where he got into the Raps and LeBron and whatever. But also, I found it really
LeBron.
interesting. I found it really interesting that he said, like, when I asked him who he modeled his game after was Kyle Lowry, and one thing that he really loved to do was like taking the charge, which Kyle Lowry loves to do. And he said even in his highlight tape, which we're going to include in the description, there's a few clips of him actually taking the charge and getting that foul. So it's really cool to see he says it and he's doing it. So you see a lot of players saying like, oh, I play like this, and they don't actually play like that.
Not a big deal.
Like me playing like Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah. I do have one charge to my name in intramural basketball. Not a big deal.
Not a rare, no.
But like, it's not like your stereotypical charge where you stand like right in front of the cylinder. It's like on the key, I'm sideways and I take the charge. But hey, there's no.
Was this
pictures
the
of
game I was at?
Yeah, it was against the fifth-year dream team that looked like they were in their 30s.
Oh.
The Croatia sweater. Croatia shirt.
Oh yeah. Was that this past year?
Yes.
Yeah.
What a name drop just because it was like one of the worst shots I've ever seen in my life. Shout out to Dalton Stevenson, who had a wide open layup and missed it, and I had to clean up the dirty work with the bank. It was awesome. Like, I felt so hot, so good about myself. Like, it was 2-0, and like he almost could dunk. No.
Oh, Dalton?
Yeah, he's like 6'3"-ish. No.
He definitely. I think he get almost done for sure.
But he went for the layup, and the English didn't fall his way, and he rolled off the rim. I cleaned up the dirty work and just splash.
You know what?
On my ice beat. Yeah, I'm TikTok.
Some TikTok.
Not a big
Charlie
deal.
lover. But
You just
even for intramural basketball, the only times I played good was when Yaz was there. Remember that first game she came? I dropped like 15 points. I was wet from three, wouldn't miss. Like, no, not a big deal. Not a big deal. And then she's not there. I'm playing like doo-doo. So I think I love the
showing
like,
off.
That's showing off, but
yes,
like
that's the better word.
it's kind of like nervous at the same time. Like, your girlfriend's there and you mess up. She's like,
Oh yeah, big intramural basketball game, baby.
no, come on. Even for volleyball, it's the same thing.
Oh my
Couldn't
god, I
mess
can't
up.
sleep. I have an intramural game at 10 tomorrow. My name's Trey. I got a basketball game
Ball
tomorrow.
game bro.
Yeah, like Malcolm. Guys, I can't go out tonight. Why? I have intramural quarterfinals at 3.
Bro, I'm on your team. What are you talking about? I've been on every single one of your teams. I don't know what you're talking about. Let's talk more. You want to know what to talk about? Let's talk about your forbidden love with Charlie D'Amelio. Or do we not?
It just rouse you up, eh?
Or do we not want to
It just
talk?
rouse you up.
Yes, it does.
Like, that's the only reason why I really like doing it, just because it just
Sure,
pisses
there's
you
some
off.
excuse now.
It just pisses you off.
Oh,
I've told it to your face. What do you mean?
It pisses Malcolm off.
It
so,
does. Does it not?
It does, but that's not why.
Thank
Come on. Come on.
Exactly. Oh man, TikTok's awesome.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It genuinely is. Like, I hate the dances and everything, but like the comedy that comes off of it is just
No, it's funny. I
like, if you're so privileged to be part of the daily TikTok routine like I do with everybody, like if you're part of the daily TikTok, you're special. Not a big deal.
Not a very. It's kind of like being back in those Vine days, seeing those classic Vines.
I was never into Vine.
Really?
No, never was.
Addicted to Vine like you are to TikTok. So.
Probably did. Oh, sorry. Yeah, TikTok.
What?
Yeah.
Go to Wisconsin. Go to Connecticut.
Yeah, it's Connecticut. Get it right, buddy.
Whatever.
True fan.
Jeez.
Little Huddy can go. Yeah.
He's out working out in the gym, so you better catch up.
Yeah, like you have to catch up to Little Huddy. Give me a break.
Come on,
Hey, he makes me look big. Come on.
he's a few mil followers though. How many do we have? 100 on the podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but even then, this interview, I feel like it was one of. We haven't had many interviews with like a lot of people so far, but me being there by myself, I think it was a good interview. I think
We're more than just a hockey podcast, people. We're more than just a hockey podcast.
I know people are probably just thinking, oh, they just cover hockey. They're gonna get these former NHLers on. Like, no, we're actively looking for.
Which there's nothing wrong with having former NHLers on, by all means.
I'm not saying
Fuck.
that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I don't want people to get the impression saying, oh, we're a hockey podcast, because we do talk about hockey a lot. Like even like with our yeah.
Cool. Well, that will be for next episode. What you're
Tune
about to
in
get
for
into.
next episode. Tune in for next episode.
It's gonna be a heated. It's gonna be a heated one. It's gonna be a heated one.
It will be heated, that's for sure. That's gonna be a hockey one. I'm contradicting myself now. Oh, we're not a hockey episode. This next one's gonna be a hockey episode.
But yeah, if you ever heard the term clickbait, I think that's the best way to end off the podcast with that kind of clickbait. That it's gonna be the most heated episode on Unfinished Biz yet.
Yep.
And I think that can be said for myself and Malcolm from what just transpired over on Friday night.
Friday night.
If you can thank everybody from the NHL for making everybody so pleasantly thrilled
Thanks, Batman.
from what just transpired. But hopefully by the time Tuesday rolls around, we'll know the hub cities for the NHL, which was supposed to be this week. But as you can tell, this week's going to be over in 2 hours. So you can thank Batman, you can thank Bill Daly.
Technically, we have until Sunday night, because you want to get into this discussion, the weekend, which means that the Monday is the start of the week and Sunday is the last day of the week. The calendar is wrong, in my opinion.
Hey, your calendar talk is just off the rail right now because you were about, the end of the world. Oh,
I'm not talking about the end of the world. I'm just saying Monday's the start.
And you were wrong. So you better
call it the weekend. The weekend. Why would Sunday be at the beginning of the week if it's still in the weekend?
No, it's just the calendars are made. But till Tuesday, we'll bring the Twisteds. You'll bring the video screen. We'll bring the entertainment. Signing off for now is Jakub.
And Money Malcolm.
Patao.